All right, so the Mizoram State Election Commission is gearing up for the upcoming assembly polls in the state with the deployment of 40 companies of the Central Armed Police Forces. Moreover, the Assam Regiment and the BSF have intensified its patrolling along the international border with Myanmar as well as Bangladesh. And talking to Northeast Live, Mizoram Additional Chief Electoral Officer Lalzarmawii informed that the additional forces have been called in to guard the additional number of strong rooms.
1,164 polling stations, out of which 32 are critical polling stations and 36 are vulnerable locations. For polling station security, in particular, for the normal polling station, which are numbering 23, State Armed Police Force will be deployed, and for the critical polling stations, 3 companies of CAPF shall be deployed. For the critical polling station, 3 companies of CAPF shall be deployed. 40 companies of CAPF shall be deployed for this election.
And meanwhile, this year's assembly elections in Mizoram will also witness many new initiatives by the Election Commission, such as the use of VVPATs and webcasting.
VVPAT shall be used for the first time in Mizoram for this election. And regarding EVM, we have ballot units, 1858 ballot units and 1839 control units and 1831 VVPATs. And there are a lot of extras which are provided by the ECI for use in this election. Webcasting has to be done on 10% of the polling station for the first time in Mizoram, and VVPATs which shall be used for the first time, and pink polling station in each assembly constituency. Voter assistance booth, voter guide and eco-friendly materials being promoted for the whole of election.
And when questioned about the heavy deployment of Central Armed Paramilitary Force companies during the elections in the state, the Additional Chief Electoral Officer said the increase in the number of strong rooms has necessitated the move.
Some questions have been raised regarding why this much company is required. The main reason is that there has been a huge increase in the number of counting centers, counting halls this year, for this election. And counting hall requires its own separate strong room, which for the EVMs, which has to be guarded round the clock. And there have been numerous complaints regarding the long counting time in the previous election. So in order to solve this problem, there has been a huge increase in the number of counting centers and counting halls, which necessitated the increase in CPF, who has to do the guarding.
And Lalzarmawii, while speaking to Northeast Live, also talked about the total number of candidates who will be contesting the elections this time round. And notably, yesterday was the last day of withdrawing nominations.
We have 40 candidates from INC, 39 from BJP, 40 from MNF, 5 from NCP, 14 from PRISM and 9 from NPP, and a total of 65 persons have filed as independent candidates. So the total is 212.
Just to remind our viewers here, Mizoram goes to polls on the 28th of November and counting of votes will be carried out on the 11th of December.